Optimistic Inquiries.
Let's do it.
Q&A.
Curious.
Q&A. We're going to highlight topics that we wanted to get our 2 cents in on.
That's
and
right.
because you're listening, you also get our 2 cents on it. So you're welcome for the 2 cents that we will not
That's all
send
you
you.
get for
That's
2
all you get.
cents.
That's all you get. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Today we're talking about the importance of adjusting your brewing schedule to stay on trend with the ever-evolving beer scene.
Yeah, I like the idea of this.
I like the idea of hearing what you're going to say about it. Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah, the concept's fun. All right, craft beer trends, they can vary from region to region or even nationwide. So how aggressively do you decide to adjust your brewing schedule to accommodate these? We think the answer is no surprise, not just black and white. There's some gray. You got to find the right. It's moderation. You got to find the right balance that makes sense for you.
Right. And I think I passed over this. Apologies. We pulled this one again from the Craft Beer Professionals. They talk about a lot of good things, right? It's a great community to be a part of. It keeps us all on our toes. And so it is crucial to stay connected with your local craft beer community, right? Being a part of groups like CBP, attending events, talking to fellow brewers, breweries, taproom managers, and most importantly, paying attention to what your consumers are demanding.
Yeah. What a concept.
Imagine that.
Why would
They
you
are the
wanna do
ones
that?
consuming the product, so it's always cool when they're in on,
Yeah, you make what they like.
Yeah. It's
I don't
not
know why you'd do
a
that.
build it, they will come. Always.
Always. But it helps.
It does help.
If you
It does.
build what they want to come there for.
That's right.
It helps.
That's right.
Yeah, like I think you want to do experimental, you want to push boundaries, you want to create exciting new flavors. So like never shy away from that because as we talked about before, especially those small batches, those are going to be keeping people excited. They're going to keep people coming in, and you shouldn't like necessarily only go for the trends because it also might not necessarily work for your area or the people that come to your brewery for what you do, right? Like I think it's take it with a grain of salt, but at the same time keep it in mind, right? Like maybe trying to have like maybe 1 or 2 of the trending styles might be newer for you in the year to start trying to implement into your the brewing techniques and not techniques, but the type of beers that you have on draft regularly into your schedules and kind of figuring out, you can even bring it up to your customers, do a survey. Like, hey, here's 5 new styles or styles we don't generally have. Which are the 2 you'd like to see most this year? And experiment with it to still, I don't know, I feel like it's like one of those things you make it your own. Just like social media, just like anything being creative. Like, say, lagers are like this big trend. Cool. Well, but if you're like this experimental that likes to use a bunch of fruit, then maybe do like some weird fruited kind of sour or something with like a hint of some other flavor. Like still make it fit your brand and what you do best. And that way you're kind of hitting both birds in the stone thing, whatever they say. That's bird stones.
2 birds, 1 stone.
That's the one.
You're combining 2 birds, 1 stone with the sword and the stone. Yeah, I think you nailed it. You got to maintain that unique identity as your brewery, right?
Yeah.
So that your craft beer enthusiasts appreciate the authenticity, originality, and it's also important to adapt, as you said, and always bring your own twist to the trends, right?
Exactly.
You're brewing lagers all day or experimental fruited lager. There you go.
Yeah. Something fun. Make it your own. Collaborate with other breweries is a great way to adapt your brewing schedule to match latest trends as well. Especially with a brewery that maybe specializes in a style you don't specialize in.
Hey.
Get advice from other people that do things better than you do. It's a great way to learn.
As long as you would trade places with them.
Yeah, that's fair.
Keeping an eye on those national beer trends helps you broaden your reach, right? Beyond local boundaries. It's truly endless at that point. But remember, what works for one part of the country doesn't always work in the other, as you said earlier.
Yeah. So, there's kind of a balance within breweries that people love what they love, right? There's a reason franchise models exist is because people want to go in, they want to know what they're getting, and they're going to want it to taste the same. So, keep beers on that your customers know and love. You got to do that. You got to have at least a chunk of your flagships, right? Of your draft lines be your flagships, but also always be evolving and evolving your brewing schedule to adapt to trends and draw in a new crowd and maybe expose your current crowd to something else they might like, right? Like, there's lots of ways to balance this, and those are just some ideas that I think from a front of the house perspective can be very successful.
Yeah. And that's really all we have to say about that. So we appreciate the Craft Beer Professionals group throwing up that question so we can jump in on it and give our 2 cents as we stated.
2 cents.
Yeah. So thanks for watching. Again, I hope you enjoyed this segment of the Hoptimistic Inquiries. Make sure to subscribe to the channel to stay updated with our craft beer culture and Hoptimistic Inquiries.
Woohoo! Optimistic inquiries.
Woohoo! What the fucking Pillsbury Dough IPA. Pillsbury IPA.
I used to be able to do that laugh. Woohoo! Woohoo!
I was like, that's what you are doing. That's all I heard.